You spoke just recently about the need for EMBRATUR to change, to become more effective at dealing with global competition for the tourism dollar. And you've urged for changes, and you have some plans. Could you share those with our audience?
Yes, I can. We are going through our anniversary, 50 years. EMBRATUR is 50 years old. And EMBRATUR, now in charge of Brazil's promotion abroad in tourism, started 50 years ago as the sole entity, governmental entity that took care of tourism. We didn't have a Ministry of Tourism 50 years ago. We only had a Ministry of Tourism for the last 13 years. So EMBRATUR was in charge of everything. Now EMBRATUR's memory tells us that EMBRATUR was responsible for basic structures of our tourism in Brazil, because it helped build convention centers, it got helping to structure states, agencies similar to its own. So it's a long story of tradition. Now, institutions get old, with the exception that they can renew themselves better than anything. Botox, we are going beyond Botox here. What we're trying to do is get out of the government budget, have similar to some other Brazilian agencies, especially promotion, export promotion agency in Brazil, Apex, which has a different structure, more independent, more flexible, not dependent on the government to not only of its budgets, but of its rulings in terms of bureaucracy. So if we do that, we're going to have also a bigger budget, a large budget, and I think it's needed if you want to showcase Brazil abroad and our diversity and the complexities and the different regions to different markets. It's a big issue. Brazil's tourism is a large business. We are internally, the internal market is already one of the largest in the world. We're talking about here of the third or fourth national civil aviation in the world, with more than 200 million flights in this country. Now what we do need is to internationalize, help bring more tourism, bring more investors, and develop tourism regionally and to the world. In such a small world we live in, I think we have a very good chance of being
successful.
Novelty in terms of originality, variety. This is a small world. I mean, there's not much new things going on. I think we can showcase all the different regions in Brazil to different markets, and I think we have markets for the next 30, 50 years to promote.
If I understand this correctly, the agency status for EMBRATUR you're proposing would involve funding from the private sector and some from the government, and like your export agency.
Yeah, mostly from the government in the beginning. But once we get things started, we can bring, because of less red tape in the structure of that type of agency, I think we will be able to partner more. We have a good example in a very big country, which is the United States with the brand USA. I think the challenge is similar to one extent because of the size of the country and the different types of tourism destinations. The complexity and the variety calls for not only for more public funds, but also with a structure that can respond to different destinations and bringing the private sector to partner. And this structure, in terms of its legal structure, is going to be much more flexible, as experienced by similar agencies in Brazil.
What's the indication from the powers to be in the government versus the private sector in Brazil for what you were speaking about?
In terms of the private sector, we have the support of the whole private sector in Brazil. Just kind of late to meet you because I was in a meeting where we got support of 25 to 30 different institutions of tourism right now in this effort because they see it as an opportunity to renew the strategies of EMBRATUR, but also to renew the relationship with the private sector in a more flexible way, more flexible manner. So I think the response is a response that goes along with the reforms that the current government is going through. We are reforming all sectors of the economy, the labor law, the retirement pension fund law, the political structure reform in terms of the number of parties and regulations, funding of elections. So there are major changes in terms of reforms at the macroeconomic and political level. And what we're doing is trying to mirror at the sector or the dimension of the sectors that comprise tourism to be more competitive. Because